The secret twin. What if the person you loved most, the one you shared your deepest secrets with, was living a life you knew nothing about, a life that included a hidden twin? Welcome, dear listeners, to Narrated by a Bee, where we delve into the extraordinary true stories that challenge our perceptions of reality and reveal the hidden depths of the human heart. Sarah and Tom had the kind of life people quietly envied. Their home, sun-drenched, meticulously designed, was a reflection of their lives together, orderly, bright, and full of love. Sarah, a gifted architect, designed structures that breathed with light. Tom, a charming marketing executive, brought warmth into every room he entered. Their love story was the stuff of novels, a spilled coffee, a shared laugh, and 10 years of near-perfect harmony. They moved like a single unit, finishing each other's thoughts, laughing at the same quiet moments. Soulmates, if you believe in that kind of thing. At least, that's what Sarah believed. It happened on a windy Chicago afternoon. Sarah, rushing to a client meeting, caught a glimpse of someone across the street. Tall, dark-haired, confident stride. It was Tom. He had that same slight head tilt when talking on the phone. But Tom was in New York. He'd left that morning for a major pitch meeting. She called his name, once, then again, but he didn't turn. He disappeared into the crowd. A doppelganger, she told herself. Coincidence. Big city. But something inside her, a tiny, irrational voice, whispered, "Look again." From that day forward, reality started shifting in quiet, disorienting ways. Tom misplaced his keys, twice, in spots he never used. He misremembered the ending of a movie they watched together. He recounted a story from a dinner with her parents, but Sarah had been there, and she knew it hadn't happened that way. Once, she found a crumpled receipt from a cafe in Hyde Park, a part of town Tom hated. That same night, he claimed he'd worked late at the office. Each incident was small, explainable, but together they began forming a strange, distorted pattern. Sarah, a woman who made her living refining details, started logging them like blueprints. She asked subtle questions. She watched his eyes. Was that warmth just slightly off? At night, she lay awake, questioning herself. Was she paranoid? Exhausted? But that Chicago moment haunted her. The man across the street, that exact same tilt of the head. Then came the breaking point. One evening, while Tom was away on a client retreat, Sarah did something she swore she never would. She opened his briefcase. Inside, the usual, reports, notes, laptop cables. And then, tucked between a folder and a legal pad, an old photo. Two boys, identical, smiling, arms around each other, about 7 years old. On the back, in a child's uneven handwriting, Tom and Mark, age 7. Sarah's knees buckled. A twin. A twin Tom had never mentioned. Sarah spiraled. She searched everywhere. Old photo albums, their wedding footage, public records. Eventually she found Mark. A handful of legal records. A blurry mugshot, a juvenile arrest for theft, a probation hearing in another state. He'd disappeared from public view years ago. A twin living in shadows. Suddenly, everything made sense. The off moments. The inconsistencies. It hadn't been Tom she was with the whole time. Sometimes, it was Mark. They had been swapping lives, playing with reality. And she had kissed, confided in, maybe even shared a bed with someone who wasn't her husband. She started setting traps. She brought up their honeymoon, naming a restaurant that didn't exist. She asked about his late mother's birthday. Tom never forgot it. She placed items in strange places, then waited to see how Tom responded. Sometimes he got it right, but sometimes he blinked, hesitated, like someone struggling to recall a script. Her heart broke in slow motion. She wasn't losing her mind. She was being gaslit by a twin. Their 10th anniversary dinner. Tom, so she thought, had reserved their favorite table, candles flickering between them. He smiled, lifted a glass, spoke as if everything was perfect. Sarah couldn't bear it. She pulled out the photo, laid it gently on the table, and asked, "Tom, who is Mark?" The silence was immediate, dense. His smile didn't just fade, it shattered. And what came next? A resignation, a shrug. "How did you know?" The voice was colder. Not cruel, just not Tom. It was Mark. He admitted it all, calmly, without shame. He'd started the swaps a year earlier, sometimes for hours, sometimes for full weekends. He watched Sarah, listened, studied. He envied everything. The house, the success, the affection Tom received so naturally. And then he dropped the ultimate bombshell. "I was at your wedding," he said. Tom got cold feet. "I stood in for the photos." He joined before the vows. Sarah nearly vomited. It wasn't just deception. It was identity theft on an emotional, physical, spiritual level. Mark was arrested days later, charged with fraud, impersonation, and breaking several state laws. Tom was devastated. He hadn't known the full extent of Mark's actions, only that his brother was going through something. Sarah felt like a ghost in her own life. Their marriage was left in ruins, not destroyed, but cracked. Deeply. Permanently. Therapy helped. Honesty helped more. Over time, slowly, painfully, they began to rebuild. Sarah and Tom are still together, changed, scarred, but real. They've learned that love isn't perfect, that trust, once broken, requires work, not just time, and that even the most intimate lives can be infiltrated when we don't ask the right questions. If this story of hidden identities and shocking truths kept you on the edge of your seat, imagine what other secrets lie behind closed doors. Like this video. Subscribe to Narrated by Abby. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of truth. We tell stories that stay with you, because reality is often stranger than fiction.